Am I the butthole for asking my friend to stop the way she shows off her before shots when she's refashioning my clothes? I am a plus-size gal who is really into fashion. I usually donate my clothes unless I can resell them. My friend Katie is really into refashioning clothes from thrift stores. She buys plus-sized clothes and then alters them into her size with a lot of other changes, like making them into crop tops or miniskirts or things. It's a really popular creative thing to do. Well, she asked me if she could have first pick of my clothes because I'm actually larger than what she usually finds, and it'll give her more material to work with. I said sure and would let her pick through my stuff I didn't want, but asked her to tag me in her posts and point people to my shop where I sell the nicer things. She started showing off her refashion stuff on Instagram and I was excited. Until I saw the way she did it. In Katie's before shots she makes these really exaggerated grossed out faces where she's draped in the oversized clothes. Or she'll do that face where she blows out her cheeks and holds the clothes out as wide as she can and does a cross-eyed expression. It's really obvious to the viewer that she's trying to mimic a really overweight person. Like me. When I saw that, my stomach dropped and I just couldn't shake the bad feeling it gave me. I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt and asked her why she was making those expressions in the before shots, and she said she just thought it was funny. I told her that to be honest, it felt hurtful, as I'm the one who gave her the clothes and it looks like she's just straight up making fun of me and my body, especially since she tags me. She told me that I'm being hypersensitive. I asked her to please just not make those faces. She told me something like after you give me the clothes they aren't yours anymore, so you aren't really in the position to tell me what to do. I thought about that for a while and in the end I did agree. If I give her the clothes they're hers to do whatever she wants with. So my solution is that I'm just not going to give her any more of my clothes. I told her that and she blew up on me, telling me that I'm just looking for a reason to be offended and if I'm this insecure, I should be working on bettering myself. Am I the butthole for asking her to stop what she was doing in the first place, since I'd given her the clothes? I just wanted to thank everyone for the responses. I didn't expect this to blow up. I want to reiterate that I don't think her refashioning plus-sized clothes is the issue. A lot of people do it and it's great to use items before they just end up in the landfill. Plus for everyone saying she should just go buy fabric like everyone else, good apparel fabric is so expensive in comparison to what you can find at the thrift shop. NTA. Katie made the very excellent point that once those clothes were hers she could do what she likes with them. You took that logic to the next step and decided the clothes wouldn't be hers. Perfectly reasonable. And I'm sorry your friend is a jerk. And not much of a friend at all. Katie knows exactly what she is doing. You deserve much, much better, I'm sorry. NTA. I came here to say just this, Katie is no friend of yours. Distance yourself, and do whatever you want with the clothes you don't want/need anymore. You'll be much happier. NTA. Yes, I want to echo this. Katie is not treating you with respect. You presented boundaries around her being gifted the clothes. If she doesn't want to respect your boundaries around using your old clothes then she shouldn't be given the clothes. She's not entitled to them. You have the right to make boundaries. Relationships work both ways. My feelings would be hurt if I was in your position. Katie is rude. You're not the butthole. Frankly, I suspect original poster would feel the same way even if they were someone else's plus-size clothes. The issue isn't that the clothes don't fit Katie or that she's repurposing them, it's that she's mocking plus-size clothes, and by association the people who wear them. It's not about whose clothes they are, it's about Katie making fat jokes. Also, I have a huge problem with people who take plus-size clothing from thrift stores just to make them smaller. I understand that it's a lot of fabric to work with, you can make something out of it, and there are a lot of people in poverty who are overweight who can't find clothing because everyone is taking the plus-size stuff. If you're just going to make fun of people for being overweight, you shouldn't be wearing clothes that they could use. I think it depends a lot on where you live and what the supply is like in your area. It's definitely a butthole move to buy plus-size clothes when there's a shortage for people who actually fit into them. On the flip side, though, there are plenty of places where thrift stores get an abundance of clothing donations and are always pretty well stocked. If that's the case, then I don't see a problem with people supporting the store and their own crafting at the same time. When in doubt, talk to the people who work there and get familiar with their typical supply. My understanding from listening to plus-sized people, particularly women, who have spoken about this is that plus-size clothing in general is just in much shorter supply relative to non-plus-sized clothing. So yes, a particular thrift store may have 100 plus-sized items, but most likely, they'll have a much larger supply of smaller sizes, let's say 500. So is it really right for a smaller person to take the larger clothes, which can be so much harder to find and are, in some cases, some plus-sized clothing sucks, designed to look good for a plus-sized person, when they have 5 times as many items available to them that they could also refit? Worth noting, I've also seen many of the people who have had these conversations say that they don't mind refashioning of slightly larger sizes, i.e. using a 10 or a 12 if you're a size 6. But it is largely considered wrong to be a size 6 and take something that's like a 16 or 18 and up, because that can be where clothing starts to get more scarce and where the difference between the original and refinished products are so massive that you're making a completely new product out of it. Not just boundaries, but you actively told Katie it hurts you and she brushed you off. A real friend would care if they hurt you. She's not your friend, sorry op. Not the butthole. Yes, absolutely, Katie is rude. The faces are really rude. The appropriate thing is to say, hey, look at all these awesome clothes my friend gave me since she didn't need them anyone. I want to thank her for the opportunity to make some really killer outfits with these materials. If you like what you see, check out the link below. This is a collaboration, and half the reason for a collaboration is to upsell each other to give each other a bigger audience. She was doing her half of that agreement. This. She could have even shown original poster looking cute in the clothes, then how she made the cloth into something else that is also cute but totally different. That seems more impressive than bashing her friend and acting like the clothes were hideous to begin with. Have original poster put together an outfit with some of the stuff she's giving her friend and some stuff she's selling. Use that as the before pic and say, if you like X item of clothing, check out Op's shop. And tag her. It's really not that difficult. Laughing out loud. I mean, it's a different thing if she is making fun of the clothes, look at this pattern, the bell bottoms, the cut, and showing off how she remodeled it into something more modern. But that's not what's going on. She is fat shaming her benefactor. Clearly it's backfired, but she can't be wrong because she's right. Wait. God, yes. Exactly. Op, not the butthole. Shoot, she could have just had a thoughtful look on her face followed by a light bulb moment. I highly recommend taking screenshots of these posts before distancing yourself. There's a good chance that she'll try to delete them and make you seem like the bad guy here, if this drama happens to leak out into your friend group. This. Original poster, your post made me feel sick to my stomach. It's hard to imagine how a good person could be so hurtful in the first place, but to double down and try to blame you. It's hard to imagine how anyone who behaves that way could be good and kind enough to deserve your generosity or friendship. Oh yeah. You don't do cruel things like that and try to gaslight the person you're mocking without knowing exactly what you're doing. Op is NTA, and she deserves better friends. Disappointed face. You're looking for reasons to be offended. No. She's looking for excuses to offend you. It is not that difficult for to be polite when someone asks, or to consider their feelings after they've done you a kindness. Katie has decided that access to your clothes is more valuable than your feelings. She is not a friend. Not the butthole. Here we find an actual example of fat shaming. A lot of posts recently have had people getting bent out of shape over someone fat shaming them when it's just not the case, but this? This is definitely shaming. And the fact that she thinks it funny, just makes it worse. Yup. I'm wondering whether she'd also do Asian eyes with an oriental garment or similar antics. I'm a big girl myself and I would love to shop at thrift stores. There aren't much clothes available for us big girls there, and I'm sure original poster can find a lot of women who'd love to be able to feel special in her clothes. NTA. NTA. But your friend is. Also, given the extremely limited amount of plus-size clothing even available in thrift shops, your friend buying it to cut up when she can actually fit into the smaller clothes they already have a lot of is kind of crappy in my opinion. Yeah, I kind of agree with this. Thrifting and upcycling is cool, and some people are super talented and creative, which is great. But bigger sizes are already so hard to find when thrifting, and often more expensive when new, so plus-size people already get the short straw. This just makes it even harder. And to publicly mock the original owners of those clothes? Beyond rude. Not the butthole original poster. I've been worried about the amount of skinny shaming on here with hints of fat shaming in the op. Not enough for me to comment, but just a feeling I get. I see one every day, so I've started wondering if they aren't all the same person trying to see what they can get away with without being downvoted. Anyhow, off on a tangent. It's nice to see the comments section supporting someone who is overweight without being preachy. I'm not particularly overweight, but I notice a lot more fat shaming in real life than skinny shaming. Obviously they both happen and people need to stop judging others' bodies, so I was worried am I the butthole wasn't representing it. Anyway, NTA. She didn't even try to give you a good reason she did it. She totally just said yeah, but you can't do anything about it and got mad when you didn't agree to enable her. You took that logic to the next step. I'm surprised she didn't see that coming, lol. What did she expect? Don't cut off the hand that's feeding you. Lamau, thank you. This was the most logical next step. I don't like the thing you do. You can't stop me, you gave me your clothes, so I can do the thing. Okay, in the future I will no longer give you my clothes. Surprised Pikachu face. I'm honestly not sure that the logic she can do what she wants with them doesn't make her a butthole in this situation. This sub always takes that stance, but just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And making blowfish faces in your plus-size friend's old clothes makes you a terrible friend and definitely a butthole, even if the clothes are technically yours. Yes, original poster responded correctly. That said, who publicly mocks their friend on social media who gifted them things? She's a crafty friend, and that the clothes weren't ops anymore is no excuse for her behavior. She's not a kind person. NTA. You're under no obligation to give her your things, and her unwillingness to accommodate a reasonable request, don't grossly caricature plus-sized people as a fun way to advertise your refashioning, is a good reason to end this arrangement. Her reaction to your decision is a good reason to reevaluate the friendship, frankly. Not only that, but that seemed like the obvious logical consequence here. What did Katie think was going to happen? Please stop mocking me with my old stuff I give you. No. It's not your stuff after you give it to me. Okay, I will stop giving you stuff. Shocked Pikachu face. Seriously, person facepalming, female sign, Katie is giving me single-celled organism vibes because how can someone be that stupid? Hey, don't insult single-celled organisms with that comparison. They're just trying to survive, smiley face. Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. There is only one natural end to the chain of logic Katie herself put forward. This phrase makes me laugh every time I see it. Shocked Pikachu face. At least she stopped puffing her cheeks out. I agree. She's literally getting free clothes and turning a profit on them and can't even do her friend the decency to not make fun of her size, which is obviously a sensitive topic. Instead of being grateful, Katie was hateful. That's no friend of ops. It doesn't even have to be a sensitive subject in this case. You can feel fine about yourself, even if you are overweight or underweight, have acne, or frizzy hair, or whatever. Be happy with who you are, as long as you feel healthy. If a friend makes fun about any of those things you were fine with, it's still going to hurt, because they're being disrespectful. This friend is doing just that, and it is awful behavior. Friends don't do that. Especially the comment about how original poster should better herself. Kate has shown her true thoughts on plus-sized people. Even aside from that, she's shown herself to be a crafty, entitled person and bad friend to Opus 100%, NTA. NTA. A good friend, when told they're doing something that hurts the other friend, apologizes and stops. They don't blame the friend for being hurt by something that is honestly pretty rude. She's not making a funny face, she's being rude and insulting. When a person tells you that you hurt them, you don't get to decide that you didn't. Louis C.K. Michael Scott. I mean, if original poster wants to get into it with her friend, she can go the "oh, why is that face funny?" Right, but why is that the only face that makes you laugh? Route, but it honestly takes so much work, especially when the friend knows exactly what she's doing. It seems like so much less work to just stop giving her material to work with, as it were, and take a few steps back from this friendship. If the girl wants to reach out again and apologize, then original poster can decide if she wants to resume that level of friendship. In my mind, and I could be wrong easily, but the comment she made about bettering yourself seems so backhanded and rude. She clearly doesn't value you or respect you. It is also obvious she's insecure and uses you to make herself feel better because she compares you and is making fun of you online, in a passive way. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.